Samsung's upcoming Galaxy S25 Plus has once again surfaced on Geekbench, shedding light on the performance of its rumored Exynos 2500 chipset. The results, however, reveal an uphill battle for Samsung's in-house silicon when compared to the competition, particularly the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite and Apple's A18 Pro. With benchmarks in hand, the Exynos 2500 appears to lag behind its rivals, raising questions about its role in the Galaxy S25 series and other devices like the Galaxy Z Flip 7. The current speculation around the Galaxy S25 series points to Samsung adopting a mix of chipsets for different markets, possibly utilizing the Snapdragon 8 Elite, MediaTek's Dimensity 9400, and the Exynos 2500. However, conflicting reports suggest Samsung might exclusively opt for Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite, a move that could hike up production costs. Despite this uncertainty, the sighting of the Galaxy S25 Plus running an Exynos 2500 on Geekbench indicates that Samsung hasn't abandoned its Exynos lineup entirely. Unfortunately, the preliminary performance results show the Exynos 2500 trailing its peers by a considerable margin. The latest Geekbench 6 results for the Exynos 2500 reveal single-core and multi-core scores of 2,358 and 8,211, respectively. These numbers represent a marked improvement of 15% and 26% over the Exynos 2400, a positive sign of progress for Samsung's chip division. However, when placed against the Snapdragon 8 Elite and the Apple A18 Pro, the Exynos 2500 falls short. Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite boasts single-core and multi-core averages of 3,196 and 10,115, making the Exynos 2500 roughly 26% slower in single-core performance and 19% slower in multi-core performance. Apple's A18 Pro widens the gap further in single-core performance, where the Exynos 2500 is 32% slower, though the difference narrows to 4% in multi-core scores. These figures suggest the Exynos 2500 is not yet ready to compete head-to-head with the industry's best processors. However, it's important to note that these benchmarks reflect the chip in a pre-production state, and there's ample room for optimization before its rumored debut. Reports indicate the Exynos 2500 will likely power devices like the Galaxy Z Flip 7 and potentially the Galaxy S25 Slim in late 2025, giving Samsung's chip engineers time to address performance shortcomings. For Samsung, the stakes are high. The Exynos brand has faced criticism in the past for underperforming compared to Qualcomm's Snapdragon offerings, leading to its exclusion from flagship devices like the Galaxy S23 series. To re-establish Exynos as a credible alternative, Samsung must not only close the performance gap but also deliver efficient power consumption and reliable thermal management. The Exynos 2500's rumored use of cutting-edge technologies, including improved ARM cores and an advanced NPU, holds promise, but these advancements must translate into real-world gains. The benchmark results also have broader implications for the Galaxy S25 series. If the Exynos 2500 cannot match the Snapdragon 8 Elite's performance, Samsung may face difficult decisions about which chipset to deploy in its flagship lineup. Markets accustomed to Snapdragon-powered Galaxy devices may resist a shift back to Exynos if the performance disparity remains significant. Moreover, the price sensitivity of consumers could influence Samsung's choices. While Qualcomm chips typically command a premium, leveraging Exynos could help Samsung maintain competitive pricing for the Galaxy S25 series. As for Apple, its A18 Pro continues to set the standard for smartphone processors, particularly in single-core performance. While the Exynos 2500 comes closer in multi-core tasks, the gap underscores the challenge Samsung faces in catching up to Apple's tightly integrated hardware and software ecosystem. Despite the current benchmarks painting a less than flattering picture, there's still room for optimism. Samsung's Exynos division has shown resilience in the past, and the Exynos 2500's substantial improvement over its predecessor demonstrates progress. If Samsung can deliver a final product that narrows the gap with Snapdragon and Apple, it could reclaim its position as a viable alternative in the premium chipset market. For now, the Geekbench results serve as an early glimpse into what the Exynos 2500 might offer, but they are far from the final word. With over a year left before its expected debut, Samsung has plenty of time to refine its in-house silicon, ensuring the Exynos 2500 is not just competitive but capable of challenging the industry leaders. Until then, the Galaxy S25 series remains shrouded in uncertainty, with Samsung's strategy for its flagship devices and its chipsets still unfolding.